Welcome to Community Centered, a show that features people in the community doing good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday, Margie. How are you?
Terrific.
Phew, I need a little oxygen.
I think better than you are.
Yes, I came flying in here. 77 North was closed.
Oh.
There was a cement truck that had rolled over and blocked traffic. And you know when you're in one of those situations where you can't go anywhere, but you have a place to be. So I came in here kind of hot.
Yes, you just breezed in here.
I just blew in here. But I would not want to miss this fabulous show we have today with our special guest. So how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Yeah.
All recovered?
I hope so.
Back to normal?
Yeah. Well,
What's
whatever
normal?
normal is.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I kind of have my taste back a little bit.
Good.
So we're getting there.
Good.
Yeah.
We I want to give a great big thank you to you and Little Smiles organization. Tim Boone stopped by yesterday with some diapers and wipes for a mom that we have with a little one that did not have the resources to purchase that. So thank you, Little Smiles, for putting the smile on the face of a few families at the Hope House. Appreciate that greatly.
And we were wondering, too, if you might like some credit cards for some of the moms that can't get out or can't afford lunch if they're working.
That would be fabulous. That's always a good thing. Although we're coming into the season of tax refunds.
Okay.
So the big dilemma with us is always how do we spend that money in the right way or, do some financial literacy with them. So I appreciate that. That's awesome. But hang on to those.
Okay. Well, I will put diapers on our list.
Perfect.
Because all babies need them.
They sure do. They sure do. We don't want them to be without them.
Well,
That's
and
for
we
sure.
put a call out a couple of years ago for blankets. And one of the Marines who worked with Toys for Tots went to Walmart and bought the store out.
Oh, wow.
So we had to add another storage unit just to house all these blankets.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
This is such a generous community. People don't even, I know we're coming into some hard economic times, so they say, but people are still very generous out there and doing some really fabulous things.
I mean, I went to church on Sunday, and I say that because I haven't been going very much because of COVID and a few other things. And 3 women came up to me and said, I offered to help you, and you never even called me. And I went, oh, well, don't ask twice.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You'll we didn't lose your number, that's for sure. Well, we have our gala coming up this Saturday. So everything about this week
I talked to Tim today.
Yeah, everything this week is all about gala. And so that's fun. That's always fun. As someone who probably knows what it's like to throw a big party of 200 people, pulling it off, and people's expectations, and this crazy world that we live in.
What can we do to help? We've got everybody out there listening.
Prayers. At this
else?
point, prayers. No, we're actually really in good shape. It's just the expectation of, last year when we did it, it was the first one we had done after an absence of COVID.
Yeah.
So a couple, 2-3 years we hadn't done it. And the night was insane, so energetic because people hadn't been out.
Yeah.
It was the first time we were coming out and we weren't sure what to expect. And it was really a fabulous night.
Good.
It's just a great night to celebrate, a great night to hear some testimony and just to tell people what we're doing. So, in addition to building 2 more houses that the footers and floor joists were put in yesterday, so I'll have walls and roofs by Friday.
I waved to you yesterday. I drove by and waved.
Thank you. We appreciate that. So, just a few things going on.
Yeah, I know.
That's why it's really hard to sit in traffic because I have some place to be and something that I need to be doing. But I am excited about our guest. I know that he's probably excited. This is an exciting week for him too.
Very exciting week.
What's happening over there? So we're going to hear all about that.
Yes, we are. I'm thrilled that it's opening and will be open tomorrow night to the public.
Wonderful.
And
exciting.
And I hope you have your taste back by tonight.
I do too.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Do you still have your calamari?
Calamari is available at Dressler's in the Metropolitan.
Okay. Oh my God. That was
That's a line I've been rehearsing for months and months and months. I employed it several times last night.
Oh gosh, so your calamari used to be And so if you're really wondering who we're talking to, Jon Dressler, and now he's adding Fin and Fino to his portfolio of
The second Fin and
fabulous.
Fino.
The second one.
Second Fin and
Yeah,
Fino.
the second Fin.
Yay!
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Phil. That's awesome. I know that this is something that has long been anticipated. People
Yes.
are really excited about it. I know my husband and I are excited about it. And I want to hear all about it. What does it look like to be opening a restaurant in this day and age, and what that entails?
Well, it's exciting. It's a lot of work. Something my wife and I are not unaccustomed to.
Mm.
Margie and I were talking before the show. This is our ninth venture together. Wow. Our seventh full service restaurant, and in addition, we have Jones Bakery down in the Metropolitan, and we do food and beverage service at Middle C Jazz Club. So it's a project that can be daunting at first and can be daunting anytime, but when you understand the landscape and you've done it before and you understand that you have a great team around you to work with you, it certainly makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And understanding what your community needs, right?
Yes.
That's
yes.
important.
Community needs lovely places to have lovely meals with their lovely friends.
I
Yes.
agree. Did I hear there's a deli too?
We do. We have a deli. My mother, Joan, who baked for us from 2003 until 2014, who's still with us. She and my dad are in charge of quality control.
Famous cheesecakes.
Yes, we
by
named
the way.
we named a bakery after my mother.
Yes. I did an interview with her.
She's character.
Oh, tremendous,
Oh,
unbelievable
I could
character.
not believe it. And I kept saying, "You're not going to give us the secret to the secret recipe?" Nope.
Does anybody have it, John?
I have access to it. We have a baking facility downtown that used to be up on Statesville at Harris. So there are probably 5 people in the world that have seen that recipe.
Wow.
In addition to my mother. So I've never studied it. I know the ingredients that are in it, but I don't know the quantities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to have her character that gets put
Well,
in it as well.
she always said, and still does, that the secret ingredient is love.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I
And-
said, "Yeah, well, how do you put that into a cake? What is that?"
Each and every one.
You can taste it and you can see it and you can feel it. There's a pride that
Yes.
goes with it too, I think.
Well, and cheesecakes are never frozen.
Right.
So they may be 3-4 days old, where you get a cheesecake from somewhere else, and they could be 6, 9, 12 months old and frozen.
Oh, okay.
So it definitely
Well,
makes
that's
it.
a
They're always
major
they're always
difference.
fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh is
Yeah,
best.
always fresh.
Yeah.
Well, when we come back from break, we're going to be learning all about Fin and Fino, and maybe some of your other restaurants in the area. We want to know all the details. What's the menu going to look like? We're giving it all away here today
I'll hang out for
to
a
our
while.
listeners. And if you could just hang around for a little bit, that would be
Okay.
awesome. And if any of our listeners has a question, they can always call 844-STUDIO-4, and John will be more than happy to take your questions and or Margie and I.
Yep.
So, Margie, what else is on tap for us?
Oh, we've got lots coming up. Lots and lots.
We are going to surprise our listeners today. Today is one great big surprise. That's for sure. It feels like in my life. We'll be back shortly.
Yeah.
There's more community-centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on the way from 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, the rain shuts off for the most part. We're mainly dry in the overnight hours. The clouds will remain, and it'll stay pretty mild. Mid and upper 50s, even some folks near 60 through early on Wednesday morning. The wind picks up on Wednesday, gusting over 30 miles per hour. Could even gust up to 40 miles per hour as the line of heavy rain and gusty winds rolls through the area tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. That front, though, will deliver a dry day and a cooler day for Thursday with highs in the low to mid-50s. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. MuralFest is back. April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College. Featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Sam Bush, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information at muralfest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Downtown Mooresville's Shamrocks and Shenanigans is on its way. St. Patty's Day is right around the corner. The festival is happening in downtown Mooresville. Attending is free, but there are ticket packages available for purchase. Irish dancers, pipe bands, food, and drinks. March 16th, downtown Mooresville's Shamrocks and Shenanigans is on its way. For more info, visit downtownmooresville.com. Coin collectors, get ready! The Statesville Coin and Currency Show is coming to the Statesville Civic Center March 16th and 17th, featuring over 60 tables of some of the finest coins around. For more info, contact Bill Brewer of Carolina Prospectors in Statesville. The Statesville Coin and Currency Show, Statesville Civic Center, March 16th and 17th. Want to see a Tyrannosaurus Rex? How about a Triceratops? Dinosaur World Live is coming to Kane Center for the Arts, Friday, March 29th. That's not the only fun family adventure coming to the Kane Center for the Arts. Dinosaur World Live, Friday, March 29th. For tickets and to see the entire spring lineup, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Call 844-STUDIO-4 now to join the community-centered discussion with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back. We are here with Jon Dressler and Debbie, my dear friend, who's a little rattled.
An Olympian today because I ran here to get into the studio.
But we're talking about the new Fino and the changes in Birkdale. I just said Chico's is now gone. So, and I mean, that was my to-go-to place.
Yeah, and I was shocked to hear Office Depot was
in
closing.
Office Depot, too.
But we're getting Michael's, and that's going to be interesting in that
Office
parking
Depot
lot.
is in Birkdale Village?
Yes.
Probably for 20 years,
On
and I never
the
saw
other
it.
side of the street.
Ah,
On the other side,
gotcha.
by
Yeah.
Hickory Tavern.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
I don't go to the other side of the track.
I bet.
I have enough to do on my side of the tracks.
I bet you're just a tad busy over there on your side of the tracks.
Oh. So tonight, I am going to be your guest.
Thank you.
And I cannot wait because the food at Dressler's, I mean, you couldn't go wrong there.
Thank you.
Signature restaurant.
And
in
I
the
think I've
community.
heard that this is even better. So I'm anxious, but you don't have calamari.
Well, you don't have calamari. We've been rehearsing for 2 weeks with the staff on how to direct the comments from the regulars, and we had part one last night. And it's a gentle direct, right? That calamari is still available at Dressler's in the Metropolitan. Let me tell you about some lovely things that we're offering on tonight's menu.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I love your lamb.
The lamb is available at Dressler's in the Metropolitan.
Oh my gosh.
Let me tell you some lovely things that are on the menu at Fin and Fino.
Fin and Fino had lamb on there with pasta.
Yes, we do have the lamb pasta.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Lamb pasta.
Yes.
That sounds interesting.
It's a braised lamb shank and served with house-made pasta.
Yeah. I think that's
I'm
what I'm
hungry.
going to try. I know. Well, I invited you.
I know. I have things I have to get done. Let's start with the interior.
Yes.
What did you do in there to
So
change things?
we gave away tables, chairs, china, glass, and silver, and then we filled 20 20-yard dumpsters.
Oh, my.
Wow.
So to give you an impression of what a 20-yard dumpster looks like, just go look at a football field, and 2 first downs is a 20-yard dumpster, and they're about
Impressive.
6 feet high.
Okay.
And for 7 days, they filled 20-yard dumpsters with floors, walls, ceilings, everything.
It was a gut job?
Everything went in the trash can but 2 walls.
Wow.
Yeah. The front door stayed where it is, and the glass front stayed where it is, and a wall separating the dining room from the kitchen stayed. Everything else went in the trash.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's amazing after 20 years how fantastic the building was still in good shape.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
I was really surprised by that. I mean, obviously the dish room the frayed edges around from water penetration. But the building was in great shape, and it was interesting. After we cleared everything out, I was able to transport back in time to early 2003 when I stood in that skeleton.
Wow.
And looked at those walls and remembering looking at the concrete and looking at the cinder blocks and the wood and everything that went into that building. And it was a very melancholy moment because,
Yes.
getting rid of Dresslers is a big deal for the community.
It was.
And it's a big deal for Dressler.
Yeah.
It's your firstborn,
Kind of your signature.
and a signature.
Yeah.
But in order sometimes to move ahead, you have to have
to grow.
change. And we've always had this mantra at Dressler's that it's tongue in cheek, but we always say change is okay as long as it's not different. So the menu was very constant for 20 years, and really the only way for us to make a significant change was to change. It wasn't just to change a few menu items.
Yeah.
It was to make a change. So really our choices after 20 years were keep it as Dressler's, which financially would not have been a smart move moving forward. Give up the space, in which case we would have just badmouthed the landlord and said, oh, what a great 20-year run, and the landlord was an ass and wanted to charge too much in rent, or change concepts. And ultimately, we decided that changing concepts, keeping the location was the most viable.
So I'm curious, did the pandemic have any input in any of this for you, or was that just sort of the timing that?
No, I mean, pandemic, honestly, for a lot of restaurants provided needed funds. In different restaurants for us, we qualified for different programs, but graciously, the United States government saved the restaurant business because the early estimates of 50%, 60%, 70% of restaurants would have failed without assistance was not even close to what the reality would have been. We had 5 restaurants at the time, and guaranteed we would have lost 3, probably 4.
I think Bill
We
is
have a
giving us.
call.
We have a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, is this Debbie?
This is Debbie and Margie and John.
Hey there. Hey, this is Kelly Grathwell with Pure Capelli Salon and Med Spa. How are you guys?
We're good, Kelly. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I appreciate you guys inviting us on your show today.
Well, you are more than welcome, and I know that you have a special announcement. I think on Sunday you're doing a cut-a-thon at your salon in Huntersville.
We are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. We are doing a cut-a-thon on Sunday from 11 to 2 at our Huntersville location, which is right at the right next to the new Publix.
Oh, on 73.
Yes. Sorry.
Awesome. Well, we are so grateful that you are doing that and that you are new there and adding a different vibe to that community. So we're excited for that, and we're delighted that you called in.
Oh yes, thank you. We're excited to host this event, and we're excited to open up a new location.
Do you want to give us some
our-
specifics of that event?
Yeah. So what we typically do is we try to do this quarterly. The girls and I, we sit down and we pretty much try to figure out a we're doing like a charity event for the Hope House.
Oh, okay.
So we just try to figure out what means a lot to us, and how we can help out. So we love the Hope House, particularly because it's it basically helps women and children. It organizes housing for them. It just helps them when they're in situations where they need help, where they're homeless. So basically, all of our I just worked a really long day at work, and I just sat down.
I'm
for the first
sure,
time. So,
and I just came flying in here in some traffic. So you're going to do this cut-a-thon, and you're going to support the Hope House by doing it, and we're grateful that you're doing that. It's going to be an exciting day. It's the day after our gala, so we are prepped and ready for an awesome weekend. We're grateful grateful that you decided to make hope happen and partner with us. So thank you so much for calling in, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So back to the pandemic, John.
That's right.
So
Where were we? We were in 2020.
yeah, and
It's early March.
a couple of questions that I had about that too. So that didn't impact your decision.
The pandemic
to change.
didn't impact our decision. Our decision was really an economic one. It 20 years ago, Dressler's Restaurant fed 40,000 people annually, and 20 years later, we fed 32,000 people. So
Wow.
the restaurant was shrinking, and no one could really tell except for the guy that counts the nickels at the end of the night. So we made the decision. We have a lot of long-term employees, as y'all know, because you come around. In the kitchen, there's 7
staff.
guys that have been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
So really, I have a responsibility that I take very seriously to the staff and their families, and we didn't want to send everyone home, but I didn't see another 10-year horizon where Dressler's would have been financially viable. So like I said, the choices were go home or change, and changing was the easy option. Because
And I
we
have
weren't
heard
going
from
home.
some of your staff how fair and good you are with them.
Lies, all lies, I tell you. They know not what they speak of, but thank you.
He paid me to say that.
That's good.
So back to the interior.
Yes.
So what kind of a vibe are we going to feel when we go in there?
Lighter, brighter, more open. Think about you design a house in 2003. You have a living room, you have a family room, you have a sitting room. You have all these rooms. People our age and people younger than us and older than us don't want. You don't have a formal sitting room.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
You have a party area where you have a kitchen and a living area, and that's where everyone hangs out. So that's what
Correct.
the restaurant is. All the walls were removed.
Wow.
So there's visual obstacles to break up the space. There's a giant water feature. There's some display tables, but it's open.
Because we used to have our meetings back in that room in the back.
The private room went away.
Yeah.
And that was a difficult decision. But when I looked at the numbers, private dining was 7% of our business.
Yeah.
And we doubled the size of the bar, which thus shrunk the dining room.
Yeah.
So if we had a private room and double the size of the bar, there might have been 14, 15 tables in the dining room. It just didn't make much sense.
Yeah.
So we did away with the private space.
Yeah.
So is it you'll be open to see into the kitchen?
You can now see into the
I
kitchen.
always think that's fascinating.
Yeah, there's just a lot of cool colors. My wife and my daughter do design. I say yes, unless
You write the check.
unless I say no, in which case I'm typically overruled.
Yes. You're
And then
outnumbered.
I go stand in the corner and shut up,
There you go.
and I'm fine with that.
There you go.
It's not a fight that I'm willing to fight because I have trouble with the colors past the box of 8.
There you go. Does it feel like, and I know we're coming up on a break here, but I want to ask this question. Does it feel like you're giving birth?
It does. I mean, last night in there, and tomorrow will be a very emotional
Yeah.
night because that is the rebirth.
Yeah.
This is playtime. This is invite all your
Soft
friends
opening.
over
Yeah,
to
yeah.
hang out in the sandbox and
Yeah.
throw sand at each other
Sure.
and laugh about it. And no one's going to complain because I'm paying for dinner.
That's
Correct.
right.
Right? You may get some good feedback from some guests, but mostly it's just people throwing sand at each other. So Wednesday, I told everyone is live bullets and we'll let it fly.
Is the big Labor Day.
Yes.
When we come back from break, we're talking with Jon Dressler of Fino in Birkdale, and we are going to get some more tidbits and information from him
Yes, we are.
when we come back.
Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle will return after this short break on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, the rain shuts off for the most part. We're mainly dry in the overnight hours. The clouds will remain, and it'll stay pretty mild. Minute upper 50s, even some folks near 60 through early on Wednesday morning. The wind picks up on Wednesday, gusting over 30 miles per hour. It could even gust up to 40 miles per hour as the line of heavy rain and gusty winds rolls through the area tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. That front, though, will deliver a dry day and a cooler day for Thursday with highs in the low to mid-50s. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Febreze. Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, you know I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Little Shavers Wood Shop and Building Supply is your one-stop source for winter electric and torpedo heaters, heat lamps, pine and cedar shavings, ice melt, and snow sleds. Plus, year-round items including PPG paints and stains, tools for plumbing and heating, and automotive supplies. Over 55,000 warehouse products available. You'll find Little Shavers on Facebook and online at littleshavers.com. That's LILshavers.com.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. After a decade of fits and starts on building an electric engine car, Apple now ending those efforts, one of its most ambitious projects ever. Apple has 2,000 people working on the project. Many of those engineers will now be shifted to the iPhone maker's artificial intelligence unit. Shares of Apple right now are slightly higher, while elsewhere on Wall Street, stocks are mostly lower after a pullback in business spending last month. The Dow is down by 1/3%, the Nasdaq up 0.4%, and the S&P up just a small fraction. Macy's planning to shut down 150 underperforming department stores in the U.S. over the next 3 years. They won't say which ones will close, but that many of them are near other Macy's locations. And Wendy's taking a page out of Uber's playbook. It's looking to roll out a new surge pricing structure for hamburgers. During lunch or dinner time rushes, it's adding an extra $1 to the cost of a Dave's single quarter pounder. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Community Centered continues now. Here are your hosts, Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back. We are here with Jon Dressler, and I'm excited to talk a little bit about you giving back to the community. We were talking before Debbie got here that you give a certain amount back to a nonprofit.
Sure.
And I think that is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So at not all of the Rare Roots Hospitality restaurants, but at Fino downtown, at our newest restaurant, Chapter 6 in the South End, 2151 Hawkins, next to Sycamore Brewery, and now at our second Fino in Birkdale, we offer something called the treatment. Okay. And the treatment is something that's really cool. So if you go to a restaurant with some strangers, or you go with some friends and you have this party of 4, party of 6, party of 8, the cool thing about the treatment is the more people you have, the funner it is. So let's say you have a party of 6 and you want to do the treatment. The treatment is a walkthrough experience of the menu. So you'll tell your server, hey, we don't like oysters. We two of us don't eat shellfish. This one has an allergy, and off you go. And the chef and the server will create an experience for you. And with 6 people, you might eat 16, 18, 20 different plates.
Wow.
And that's a cool dining experience
Yes.
to kind of walk through the menu in that small plate variety. And what we do from each treatment is we pick a charity each quarter that's near and dear to our heart, one of our teammates' hearts, or someone in the community that we know and we love. And we partner with that charity, and we offer $5 from each treatment is given back to that charity. And we'll write a check at the end of each quarter. And those checks are fairly significant. They're high 4 digits, low 5 digits. And we've done that for over 5 years at Finn and a half a year at Chapter 6. And then we'll start tomorrow night at Birkdale, Finn and Fino.
That's beautiful.
Incredible.
But it's, in restaurants, margins are thin, and it's hard to do things for the community. We give a lot of gift cards away for, hundreds each year for charitable causes, things that people approach us about. I'll give your listeners a hint. So if you're a teacher or a child-related charity, the answer is always yes.
Yeah.
All you have to do is send something to me and say, "Dear John, here's what's going on."
Oh, that's what's going to happen tonight when I get home.
Exactly.
We get to write a Dear John letter, but this is the good kind of a Dear John letter.
And I always laugh and tell people to, get in touch with my people, but I am my people. So
you are your people.
I'm happy to be that. So yeah, the treatment is near and dear to our heart.
Yeah.
Something that's super cool.
Well, I think that's wonderful.
I do too.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think tells you a lot about your character.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think if that same kind of compassion goes into your food, because food can be compassionate, that's a testimony right there.
Well,
he's learned from his mother.
Sure.
My father. I don't know if my mother can quite be called compassionate. My father is more compassionate. He was orphaned for a few years as a child. My mother is passionate, maybe not quite as compassionate, but no, I had great role models growing up. My mother taught me the value of love, and it's something that I've endeared to my children. I've always told them anytime we depart each other's company, either on the telephone or in person. On the telephone, it's "I love you," and in person, it's "I love you" and a hug and a kiss.
Yeah.
Because 2 minutes is not guaranteed, and tomorrow is not guaranteed, as we all know. So I always told my kids, if the last thing you ever said to me was a hug and "I love you," then you always have that to walk around with the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up, John?
I grew up, I was born in D.C., and I spent 9 years on the Jersey side of Philadelphia and 9 years on the Pennsylvania side of Philadelphia, and then was Dallas for graduate school, San Francisco for personal enjoyment, Chicago to start my career, and then I moved to Charlotte July 7th, 1996, sight unseen.
Wow.
To Charlotte, North Carolina, after not thinking I would wind up in Charlotte. And I called my best friend after 3 days here, and I said, "I think I'm good." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I think I'm good if I never have to move again in my life." And July will be 28 years.
I think a lot of people say that when they get here.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, it really is.
People say, "How did you get here?" And I said, "The car."
Yeah, by car. Yeah, exactly.
Literally, we got in the car and started driving.
Yeah.
So do you cook yourself?
I do. My daughter is the best cook in our house. She doesn't live with me anymore, but we invite her over. My wife and I cook, and one cooks and the other cleans. For us, nights are action-packed. Days are peaceful. So, we enjoy to cook, and we enjoy to go out, and we enjoy to relax.
Yes.
So cooking is good fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brings people together for sure.
Yeah, it does. And
and what's interesting, I actually want to double back to a comment you had made about pandemic, but most people don't realize, and pandemic certainly made this aware of everyone at the forefront, 50% of all meals consumed in the United States are eaten in restaurants. Now, that's a restaurant that
Wow, I
ranges
didn't know
from
that. Yeah.
McDonald's to the highest place in the
Yeah.
country. So 50% of all meals are consumed in restaurants. So for us, March 13th, March 14th, whenever that line of demarcation was in the country, all of a sudden, I remember having dinner with my kids that night, and I said, "There's a lot of upper middle class and upper class people that are fixing to either learn how to cook or live off of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for a long, darn time, because that's a huge number." And to me, I'm not a visionary, but I understand people. It's my business. It's what I do, and I understood that as Americans, we don't sit in our home and eat out of a box. The biggest thing that we do is gather.
Yes.
And as people, as humans, and certainly as Americans, we enjoy to gather. So I had faith that when the faucet was turned back on, that people would come flooding out. Immediately, people that were comfortable, people that weren't uncomfortable, we understood. Because I remember the kids asking me that work with me when we were getting ready to reopen after 10 weeks, what do we do? How do we do this?
Yeah.
And I said, just like we used to.
Yeah.
Act natural and be cool. The people that are coming here because they're comfortable to come here. They're not going to walk in and say, "Don't let him stand near me. Make him wash his hand." They're coming because they want some sense of normalcy in their life.
Yeah.
And you see, as time went on, restaurant sales were skyrocketing.
Well, and you have said the word experience several times. And that is the key. That everybody wants to have an experience.
Absolutely. And
And you
that's,
have created that very welcoming,
thank you.
warm, inviting, experience.
We talk to the staff, and training is a big deal for us, because training is not about where do you put a fork and how do you pick a plate up. Training for us is culture. It's 100% culture.
Yeah.
I talk every single day during the 2 weeks that we train, and will forever. And the story is the same. You don't have to be nice to me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to be nice to the people that you work with. You don't have to like them. But you all have to work together for the common cause. And the common cause is the guest experience.
That's
because
right.
I do not pay you. The guests give me money that I in turn give to the purveyor. I distribute back to you.
Yeah.
But it's all about the experience. And it's not about tonight's experience, because you're already in the restaurant. Right, our brand of retail is different from most brands of retail. Retail store, you go in, you may buy a shirt, you may buy pants, you may buy socks, you may buy nothing. But when you walk into our retail store, you're buying a shirt, you're buying pants. So it's up to the servers to offer you a belt, to offer you socks.
Yeah.
And whether you take it or not is not relevant, but we want to be able to give a value add, but not try to soak people, because we're not concerned with how much money you spend, ever. We're not concerned with anything other than you enjoy tonight's experience so that you come back tomorrow.
That's right.
Because there is no
And you tell
tonight
your friends.
Yeah.
without tomorrow. So all we talk about is tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Those are the experiences that people want, the connections that you want to make. And so that's
Great.
That's
great
the secret sauce
philosophy.
that
That's amazing.
people always ask
But
about.
it was funny because I was doing an article on Dresslers a couple years ago, and I had gone out with some friends, and Jennifer and a couple of the other gal servers just at the end came and sat down and joined us, and we just had such a beautiful experience, as you said.
Well, I think what John said, it's like you're in someone's kitchen, right?
Yes.
You want that experience
you
of
do.
feeling comfortable and having good food.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're fine if you love the food, but to me, the biggest compliment is if you call and say, "Hey, is Jennifer working on Tuesday?"
That's right.
She's not working Tuesday, she's working Wednesday. Fine, I'll have a reservation on Wednesday.
That's
To me,
right.
that's the ultimate compliment that
Yes.
we've made a connection.
Yes.
We'll be right back. We're talking with Jon Dressler.
Can't wait for dinner.
There's more community-centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on the way from 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, the rain shuts off for the most part. We're mainly dry in the overnight hours. Clouds will remain, and it'll stay pretty mild. Mid and upper 50s, even some folks near 60 through early on Wednesday morning. The wind picks up on Wednesday, gusting over 30 miles per hour. Could even gust up to 40 miles per hour as the line of heavy rain and gusty winds rolls through the area tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. That front, though, will deliver a dry day and a cooler day for Thursday with highs in the low to mid 50s. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. MuralFest is back. April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College. Featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Sam Bush, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information at muralfest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Downtown Mooresville's Shamrocks and Shenanigans is on its way. St. Patty's Day is right around the corner. The festival is happening in downtown Mooresville. Attending is free, but there are ticket packages available for purchase. Irish dancers, pipe bands, food, and drinks. March 16th, downtown Mooresville's Shamrocks and Shenanigans is on its way. For more info, visit downtownmooresville.com. Coin collectors, get ready! The Statesville Coin and Currency Show is coming to the Statesville Civic Center March 16th and 17th, featuring over 60 tables of some of the finest coins around. For more info, contact Bill Brewer of Carolina Prospectors in Statesville. The Statesville Coin and Currency Show, Statesville Civic Center, March 16th and 17th. Want to see a Tyrannosaurus Rex? How about a Triceratops? Dinosaur World Live is coming to Kane Center for the Arts, Friday, March 29th. That's not the only fun family adventure coming to the Kane Center for the Arts. Dinosaur World Live, Friday, March 29th. For tickets and to see the entire spring lineup, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Call now to speak with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's community-centered on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back. You are listening to Community Centered, and we are having a delightful visit with Jon Dressler with one side effect. My stomach is growling.
Yes.
I'm getting hungry thinking about all of these amazing things. So tonight is a soft with your friends.
Practice.
Tomorrow night is the big night.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's on the menu?
Oh, goodness. So we've finally aligned the two Fin and Fino menus. We weren't sure if we'd be able to do it because the kitchens are two completely different sizes. The original Fin, the kitchen was designed by Emeril Lagasse, and we took over that restaurant after they were unable to make a go of it. So in a restaurant, you want 25% of the square feet to be kitchen. So we have 8,000 square feet roughly. You want the kitchen to be roughly 2,000 square feet. Our kitchen in Center City is 3,600 square feet. It's a restaurant in a kitchen. It's you couldn't possibly bump into someone. There's more space than you know what to do with. But in Birkdale, we had some limited constraints of my vision from 20 years ago how to make a kitchen, because it's all about the math of how many seats do you have, how many people can you feed.
Yeah.
But there's some great menu items. Mushroom toast is a super cool item. There's an entire oyster menu, 2 different kinds of hot oysters, always 6 to 8 different kinds of cold oysters, cold from all over the country or out of the country, depending on the season if we need to. A couple pasta dishes, steak dishes. There's a prime New York strip. There's a ribeye for all the old school folks that still want to have their plate. But really, Fin and Fino is a social seafood house. So it's designed small plates. It's designed for community eating. It's designed to share, and it's designed to taste a little bit from everyone's plate.
Oh, I love that.
That's my kind of eating.
Yeah, it's a great way to eat.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Tell us about some of the other restaurants.
Well, goodness. So we'll go back in time. So we just opened Chapter 6, which is Western Mediterranean small plates in South End. My wife, who's not as accounting adept as I am, asked me, we called it Chapter 6 because it's the 6th restaurant that we did together. And there's also 6 Mediterranean countries that are represented on the menu.
Okay.
So my wife said to me, well, technically it's our 7th restaurant. Shouldn't we call it Chapter 7? And I said, well, that's bankruptcy code, honey. Right. We don't want Chapter 7. And if we ever get to chapter 11, we'll skip that one too. I said, like there's no 13th floor in a hotel. It's kind of the same deal. That's about 6,600 square feet, real dynamic, big bar. 60% of the seating is bar, 40% is dining room. So it's got really two vibes to it. Great patio. So it's been really well received by the community and super cool.
Yeah.
We did open Jones Bakery and Deli, which is an homage to my mother. When I was a kid, my mother had a baking business out of the house where she did small handhelds and cakes and cookies and pastries for friends. And, my mother having baked for us for so many years as a whim, it really started as, hey, let me make some cheesecakes this weekend for a feature. And it turned into cheesecake, carrot cake, apple cake, specialty cheesecake. It was a labor of love for my dad and my mom and myself. But it was a way for me to put her name in lights and to pay homage to my mother. And it was a super cool emotional experience for me to walk into the bakery.
I bet it was.
And to have her look up and see her name on a sign. Was really cool.
Yeah.
It's not a kosher deli, but it's a Jewish style. So you'll have things like rugula and black and white cookies.
Potato knish.
Knishes.
Yeah.
There's pastrami, corned beef, made like you would make in a delicatessen in New York City. So
Excellent.
Rob Clement had Meshuggah, which was a concept that he started after COVID. He had worked with us.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And Meshuggah means crazy man, yes.
Yeah.
And he is crazy man.
Oh.
So we brought Meshuggah back to life at Jones Bakery. So
Okay.
it's been a cool partnership so far. You go back to the original Fin and Fino, which is Levine Avenue of the Arts. Jones Bakery is in the Metropolitan by the Dressler's Restaurant, but just around the corner on the backside of the development overlooking the city. Down in Waverly, we have the Porter's House. Porter's House is what you would think. It's a steakhouse. It's a double entendre name. The porter who takes care of your wants and needs, and the Porterhouse steak, which is the granddaddy of all, half New York strip, half filet mignon. And that's a modern steakhouse for the New South, we called that. That is a different twist, a lot lighter and airier, orange and blues in the color scheme. It's not a dark, clubby steakhouse. And then you have your Dressler's Restaurant in Metropolitan, which is now, I guess, the old lady, if you will. I mean, she's 14 years old. Birkdale made it to 20 years in one night, but Metropolitan is 14 years. So we've been instructing all our friends. If you want the calamari, if you want the crab dip, if you
Margie.
if you want your old friends are available with your new friends down at Dressler's in the Metropolitan.
And your cocktail menu.
Oh, the cocktail menu is super cool. So Brittany Kellum is in charge of the cocktail program at both the Fin and Finos and at Chapter 6. And she's got henchmen and henchwomen in each place that craft, but she's really the brainchild behind it. And she's been voted twice by her peers as the best bartender in Charlotte.
Wow. I can see why.
Yeah, the cocktail program is just next level, and been very well received in all of the restaurants. Chefs are incredible. I'm not a chef. I'm not a creator. I understand food products and product quality and those things.
And you're a people person.
I love the
Yeah.
peoples. Yes, that's my thing.
How do you keep up?
So I don't write anything down. I sleep very little. I'm highly organized in my own brain. I did apologize to my wife about a year ago. I said, because if I perish or go before you do, man, you're going to have a hard time finding it. So I have a file that I've created on my desk that says, if I go.
To be open.
Right. And it has a whole blueprint of where everything is and how it all works. But
a blueprint of your brain?
I mean, my brain, so I'm high functioning ADD, not high on the chart ADD, just high functioning. So the more I have to do, the better off I am and the more productive I am. My brain rests for about 5 to 6 hours a night, and then it goes all day long. And I can do work at 6 in the morning. I can do work at midnight. Really between kind of midnight and 6 a.m., I put my phone in the other room, and that's the time for my brain to chill.
Well, that's important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Even if you love to do stuff and connect with
right.
people, it's nice to relax some.
You know, there's something we talk about on this show called work-life balance.
Yes.
Where's your balance?
Oh, I have a tremendous work-life balance. So typical year, I'll play between 125 and 150 rounds a year.
Mm-hmm.
I'll travel between 75 and 100 nights a year. A lot with my wife and a lot not with my wife. We do a lot of separate vacations.
Mm-hmm.
Though my brain works 24/7 on my business, I have no problem relaxing.
Yeah.
I'm not. If I had to sell all the restaurants tomorrow and retire, I would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have no problem doing nothing. I'm not one of those people that has to work, or
Mm-hmm.
I would have. It's a tremendous dichotomy, and my wife. It took her a long while to understand it, because when we first met, she said, "Is opening a restaurant your dream?" I said, "No, my dream is to play golf and sit on the sofa." But I think you need something called the lottery in order to make that happen, and I don't have the winning ticket, so I'll do this restaurant thing for a few years.
Are you a good golfer?
I play off about 4 handicaps, so it's,
Okay.
I have a night job.
Not too
so
shabby.
Yeah, I played this morning. I was promised that there was no rain in the forecast.
I know.
And we played 18 holes this morning, and it rained for 14 of them. So.
I don't know what happened. I don't know where the rain came from.
I was quite displeased.
There you go. Well, you have been a character and a delight to talk to. And I know, Margie, you're looking forward to dinner tonight.
I cannot wait.
And I know that this is going to be a tremendous success to our community. I wish you mazel tov.
Thank you.
All of the very, very good blessings that
Thank you.
you can pull off, because I think our community is waiting for it. I know that there's a lot of folks that have been
absolutely.
talking about
Yeah.
it and saying, where do you go for fine dining, good dining, and an experience in the Lake Norman area? Yeah, there's plenty of restaurants, but there's not so much of the experience.
Thank you.
That's the secret word.
And I think your absence has been missed in Birkdale. There are a lot of folks that I've talked to that said, I don't even go there anymore. Why bother? Dressler's isn't there. So I think that, you opening with something different is exciting.
Yeah.
It's a tremendous time in our community to celebrate.
Well, it's a whole new menu, too. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a whole new dining experience.
It is. It's a new look. It's a new feel. But
Yeah.
I've been reassuring people, the reason why you come to the restaurant is because you have great food in a warm, comfortable environment, served by lovely people.
That's right.
I said, those things have not changed.
No.
The color's different. The floor is different.
That's okay.
The chair is different.
Yeah.
Same
the
energy.
food is different.
Same
but
energy.
You'll still get what we always strive to offer.
She had more than a facelift, right, Marty? She had a
Oh,
toner
goodness.
overall.
Last night was hysterical because people were insisting that I move the front door. I said, no, the front door is not moved. I said, yeah, it was over here. I said, no. Close your eyes. Host stand.
Oh, I can't wait to come.
Bar.
Yeah.
They're like,
He's
yeah,
right.
I guess you're right. Yeah, that front door did move.
I guess you're right. Well, Margie, I hope you have a lovely evening
I
this
will.
evening and enjoy
I
your
will.
meal. And again, John, many, many congratulations for a new exciting adventure. It's invigorating. It's
Thank
exciting.
you. We're
And,
excited. And we do have one more project to announce sometime in the next month or two.
Oh.
Our dear friend Dogwood Southern Table, which we sold in South Park, may be reemerging.
Wow, you heard it here first
Yeah.
on Community Centered. I'm
Yeah.
honored that you decided to surprise us with that. That's
Yeah.
for sure. But, well, again, many, many congratulations. We're excited. Our community is looking forward to it for
Thank you.
sure. So we thank you for coming today.
My pleasure.
It's been a delight.
I'm going to go feed some friends.
Yes, I understand you are. Margie. That's awesome. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.